Hello, good evening. This is Clifford. I use this medium to say hello to all our listeners out there.
Fine, thank you very much, Mr. Clifford. Can we have your full name and your educational background?
My full name is Ebogu Clifford Chinedu. Um, I finished from University of Ibadan, that is 9 years ago, from Library and Information Studies, and that is just it.
Good. That was pretty concise and direct. Thank you, sir. Now, looking at the sector you represent, for which we brought you to this show, what do you is it the private or the public sector? I'm sure you know the meaning of these two sectors.
Yes, I'm into private sector.
Good. In your private sector, we know that you are a farmer.
Yes.
Obviously, we have to
Yes.
let the cat out of the bag to the listeners. Now, as a farmer, what type of farming do you do, and when did you start farming?
I'm into crop production actually, and I venture into farming 4 years after my graduation.
Wow.
And then, but it's been okay. We're doing good.
I'm sure those that knows you one-on-one will know that you are just economical with the truth that you are just doing good. Anyway, I believe as we continue this discussion, both those that are already used to your business and those that want to know you better would have reasons to, want to, become very familiar with your personality. Now, what's the name of your organization?
Sedulus Farm Nigeria Limited, and it's based here in Ibadan. We have our head office and our head location here in Ibadan. That is Moniya Iseyin Road, Araromi Oniyongi Village, towards Iseyin Road.
Tell us, your discipline in the university. By profiling, do you have an agric certificate from University of Ibadan, or you've always been farming as a child in the family? Does it run in your blood?
I don't have any agricultural educational background.
Okay, so I guess you when we were outside the studio, you said you are a graduate of what?
University of Ibadan. That's
What was your
9 years ago.
discipline?
I study library and information studies.
I'm sure those people that taught you in UI and your professional body were like, we've lost a gem. Good. Now, for many of the young lads and even the unemployed here specifically, and those that are not earning good income at home, listening or in their offices, that are yearning to know whether this agric is not the same lies or propaganda people say, because we know of a fact for bringing you to the show that you are not just doing agric for agric's sake. In fact, it has touched your life in so many departments.
It's just a part and parcel of me. Let me say it's part of, because on a good day, agriculture pays.
Fine.
Now, foot your bill.
When you graduated, did you practice library and information studies at all?
Yes, when I graduated, I got employed in one school, one private secondary school here in Ibadan, though the private school is no longer in existence. And they were paying me. I was collecting 25,000 naira.
For how long did you work for this school?
I worked in that school for 2 years.
And now for 2 years you were in a secondary school working in their library department.
Yes.
And you earned 25,000. What was the turning point? What just caught you spellbound and told you that no, you were not destined to be here?
Actually, I looked at my immediate superior who started the school foundation with the owner. I looked at him. It wasn't encouraging. It wasn't encouraging as a young graduate who graduated that is looking for more. Income.
Wow, young graduates, especially those that are not into some of the illicit business we don't want to mention here on air.
Exactly.
I'm sure you want your name not to be tainted in black.
Yes. So I looked at him. I said, "Man, this thing is not what I want. This is not what I want for myself. So I need to resign. I resigned purposely myself. That, man, I need to stand on my own." So I thought about business of venturing into, though in my background during my little age I have an agricultural zeal, but not in crop production. So I need to read some agricultural ebooks, and I met some of my friends that graduated from agricultural aspect. They put me through, they led me through, and I practice. It's not for you to read theoretically is different from practical. Most time, what you read in theory might not, if you apply it to practical aspect, might not work. So I did the both, and with God, everything happens to be wow.
Now, my dear listeners, I'm sure you know that we are really constrained by time because of the limitation we have on our slot, and also the how empowered we are to be able to have more hours for this very, very thought-provoking and insightful show. Please, 9 years ago, you graduated from University of Ibadan, Premier University, one of the best in the country and in Africa. Now you graduated as a professional librarian, but there you are in agriculture. Was it 25,000 naira and you looked at it that with 25,000 can you build a house, can you have a car, can you even marry and settle down as a young man? Looking at you are still very young. How long have you been in this farming post graduation?
I've been into this farming, though I did my company registration maybe 4 years ago, and I've been into this business for the past that same 5 years. Yeah, I did registration 5 years, and I started operation the following year. Let me say 4 years ago. So I've been into this agriculture, and it pays. I'm doing well.
And talking about agriculture here, we know we have livestock. I'm sure many people at home wants to be specific and or
Yes.
want to get it in proper perspective. Now, he is in the crop segment. I know some people are very comfortable and familiar with poultry, ruminant, fish farming. Now, your own specialization was plantain, my
Was
dear brother.
plantain. Yes.
Your company name used to be Sedulus Plantain, and now it's
Yes.
Sedulus
That's
Farm
farm
Nigeria
Nigerian.
Limited.
Yes.
Now, when you were Sedulus Farm, how long were, I mean, Sedulus Plantain, sorry, how long did that business go before you got maybe the calling, or should I call it, you had another vision to expand your agricultural
Yes.
empire? For how long were you into plantain, and what were your achievements when you were doing plantain alone?
For how long I'm still into plantain currently. I just need to be diversified into some other things. So being making it Cedulous Plantain Farm, we make it to be a a particular aspect of crop. But now I need to diversify into some other aspect of agriculture. I'm still currently into plantain, and my major production is plantain farm.
Now, you in plantain, some of us that know what you do, and for those that want to learn at home, we have the plantain suckers, we have the
Yes,
plantain we eat at home.
yes.
Now, do you actually cover these two territories or even more in terms of consultant setting up of farms and supply delivering? Do you deliver across Nigeria, across Africa? Is it just plantain bunch or even the suckers?
You just answered the question yourself, because I covered everything that you just made mention.
Thank God. That means you don't need to answer me for our time. But like I said earlier, what are your achievements? Because you left, should I call it, amongst certain group of Nigerians, a thriving job, because some Nigerians, and let's don't deceive ourselves, they are comfortable with 20,000, no, because they will tell you it's even better than nothing. But here you are. What is your minimum income? Can you give us a range, of what your life turned out to after you left the teaching job you had just after graduation? And secondly, is it possible to tell us a few of your achievements that would really make people know that farming and plantain is good?
Yes, I have achieved, at least to my own capacity. At least I have 150 acres of land set up on plantain only, exclusive to the ones I've been managing. At least if I should count the plantain currently that I'm managing, is up to 3,000 farms across this Nigeria, and I successfully set up a farm for public figures, top politicians, and even some churches and organizations. So we are doing well. The plantain sector is doing well, and what I will implore youth of our time now, to just try to engage themselves in plantain farming.
Okay.
and we are doing well.
But for our time, just like I said, we need a lot of support for this program, sponsors, advertisers, so that we can you really engage robustly our guests. There's so much to be discussed, so much information out there. But without information, you are deformed to start with, and most of what we have in our schools, without any special reason to malign this very lovely institution that gave us our should I say our professional background, because we know many people need to know that they need to be trained internship.
Yes.
They need to be apprentice. They need to acquire these skills. Even those that did agree, some of them are not farmers. However, I want to say the young man here, like I said, because of time, is really very frugal. I want to let you know that he's doing well. That's not much I'll tell you. But obviously, we'll be releasing the phone number, the website. Now, let us just have a one more word from you. What's the advice you are giving to young lads? Because I don't want to tell them your age. Except you want me to tell them, but I'm sure you are under 40. That is very obvious. You are an under 40 man. So under 40 can mean it's just 20 years or 30 or 30 something. But all I'm just saying here is a very young lad. And just within 4 to 5 years, you need to meet him. The young man is growing and is growing better. Despite, in fact, he's one person that cannot tell the Nigeria story as being very bad. Even, that's that we need each of us to improve so that the country can also improve collectively. Now, we are done with that segment. Once again, thank you, Mr. Sedulus.
You're welcome, sir.
That is Clifford here.
Yes.
Now, in the last segment of the program, we just have few time. My engineer is already giving me sign in the studio that obviously our time is up. But before I let off this very episode, all that I think I have left to say here, if I still have 1 or 2 minutes to pass it across, is that if you want to be a guest on this show, I would encourage you to call this number 070-650-17260 or 070-8181-2985. Do you also want to bring your adverts to this show, or you want us to project it? Now you can call these following lines I gave before. Finally, I would also say that for those of you that are seeking for jobs, or you want recommendations, or probably you want to be trained, or there is this issue you have with your with your business